Hello and welcome to Light Body Radio. I am your host, Dr. Lara May. I am a clinical pharmacist, Reiki master, and intuitive integrative health coach. As a health coach, I provide a safe, supportive process for aligning your dreams with your intentions. I will guide you to take small right action toward reaching your goals every week. Let's turn your vision into your reality today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Light Body Radio. I am your host, Dr. Lara May, and it's been a while since I posted a new episode on this podcast. And while doing this podcast is a lot of fun for me, it's a lot more time than I was expecting it to consume when I first was brainstorming about ways to bring my audience more value and more information. So, in light of that context, I hope you forgive me for not posting a new episode in a while, but I wanted to do this episode about creating empowering rituals that fuel your goals. Now, doesn't that sound exciting? So, when we have consistency, it really fosters massive action. And, all of these are requirements for achieving any worthwhile goal you have for yourself. So, consistency and self-discipline are also requirements for success in almost any field or endeavor. So, there is one additional element that is required for success that we haven't talked about yet, and that is comes down to the rituals that you partake in each day. And these hopefully help keep you mentally focused, alert, motivated, and on track. And rituals can be described as the consistent daily actions that you take to help you build habits over a period of weeks, months, and years. And these habits then, of course, shape your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. So, whether you realize it or not, you already partake in a multitude of daily rituals. Just the simple act of brushing your teeth the first thing in the morning is a daily ritual. Or what about your morning breakfast ritual? Or how about the ritual of maybe having a glass of wine after work or watching your favorite TV show? These are all rituals, and while not all of them are empowering and encourage massive action, they are yet nonetheless still rituals. So, rituals shape every decision that we make, whether we realize it or not, because we're humans and we're creatures of habit. And so we really should be aware of what rituals feed our goals and make us feel good, and which rituals aren't good for us or don't reinforce the goals and the things that we're trying to achieve in our life. So let's say you have a ritual where at a certain point during the day, you tend to get sucked into social media. Does this ritual make you feel good? Is it good for you? Probably not. Is it good for the goals that you would like to achieve throughout your day? Probably not. So unless you're a social media marketer who uses social media for research purposes, then the answer is still probably no. It will feel good sometimes, but in the long term, this ritual will probably only lead to procrastination and foster self-judgment and what we can call less than stellar other emotions and reflections about yourself. So, like with anything else, awareness is the first step. So, we have to begin with familiarizing ourselves with the kinds of rituals that we currently indulge in that are either in alignment or out of alignment with our goals and our desires. So, of course, the age-old rule is what we become repeatedly, we do. Did I say that right? Anyway, But how do we do this? Where do we begin? So again, we have to get familiar. So I want you to take a moment, and if you have a piece of paper, then go ahead and write down the answers to these questions as I go through them. If you're driving and you obviously can't write anything down right now, then I'm going to put these questions in the resources page at drlaramay.com/lightbodyradio. And you can come back and revisit these later. So, what kind of daily or weekly rituals do you consistently indulge in? Just make a quick list of whatever pops in your mind. And if you're doing this later, then you can take a little bit more time with each question. Which of these rituals make you feel good about yourself? Which of these rituals are actually good for you and good for the goals that you would like to achieve? Which of these rituals feel good but do not serve the greater good of your goals? Which of these rituals do you consider helpful versus not helpful? And which rituals are actually producing positive long-term results? Which rituals are empowering and motivating? And which ones are hindering you in some way? Which ones are holding you back? And how are these rituals shaping your life? How are they shaping your finances, your relationships, your health, your career, and the goals that you would like to achieve in these areas? Exploring the rituals and these questions will help you get a deeper sense of how they are effectively shaping your everyday life. So, an empowering ritual must be meaningful to you. It must be engaging and purpose-driven. In other words, it must support your personal values. It has to connect you with your passions and through your personal standards. An empowering ritual must keep you inspired and motivated, energized, and focused. Do any of your rituals so far do any of these things? Empowering rituals also will help keep your imagination stimulated, will help your creativity flow, and help you be productive. But most importantly, it must keep your life simple and balanced. So doesn't that sound like a dichotomy? There is no point in overcomplicating your rituals, so just stop doing that right now. The rituals you build must be simple and fun and straightforward in order to do any of the above things that I already mentioned. So we're back to some more questions. Get ready with your pencil and paper, pen and paper, or your notebook or your journal. So maybe reflect now on how you would like to change your life. What improvements would you like to make? What specific goals would you like to achieve? What type of personal standards do you need to uphold to support these improvements and goals? What kind of accountability has to be in place? And how would you like to feel after each ritual you partake in? Again, when we connect with our feelings, then we get closer to the actual manifestation of whatever outcome we're focusing on. So even with creating rituals in our lives or creating patterns, however you'd like to say it, once you connect with the feeling, that'll help you get even further along to the outcome. All right. So once you have evaluated these questions, this will help you lay down the foundation for building your own personal set of empowering rituals that will support your goals and objectives and eventually your success. So let's talk about rituals for when you wake up. Your morning rituals should begin the moment you awaken. Now, my morning ritual is as soon as my alarm goes off, or as soon as, I'm close to that little bit of consciousness even before my eyes open, I start personally with a dialogue of gratitude. Now, I'm not saying you have to do this, but this is just something that I like that gets me in a positive, happy, grateful, appreciative mindset first thing in the morning, like I said, before my eyes even open. So Ideally, we should all wake up at the same time each day, and we should be ready to jump out of bed and embrace our morning routine. I said ideally. That's not even realistic for me, and I know like even the best morning people on the planet that doesn't happen every single day. So be gentle with yourself and be realistic, but also, even if there's one of those days where you're tired and you just don't want to get out of bed, if you complete your morning ritual, you will feel better throughout your day. So I really encourage you to, whether it's having some gentle self-talk, maybe some caffeine, whatever it is, try to adhere to these rituals as consistently as possible. Remember, we talked about consistency right at the beginning of this episode. So try smiling as soon as you get up. Take some deep breaths, maybe center yourself, maybe do a quick little meditation, whether it is like I like to do, a little gratitude practice before I wake up or before I get out of bed. Drink a glass of warm water with lemon to help alkalize and rehydrate your body first thing. And if you want a little extra detox, add some apple cider vinegar in there. And so these are just some very simple rituals that are of immediate value because they do really help to energize your body right after you wake up. But there's some other things that while you're brushing your teeth or in the shower, you can think about: what are you proud of? What are you happy about? What are you grateful for? What are you passionate about? What are you looking forward to today? What are you committed to today? All of these things will help get your mind and your energy going in the right direction. So these help focus your mind on what's most important to you right now, and it subsequently makes you feel better about yourself while providing you with a positive outlook for the day ahead. So for some more examples of some morning rituals, spending 5 to 30 minutes exercising or dancing to your favorite music. This will definitely help energize your body first thing in the morning. Eating a healthy, rejuvenating breakfast. Reading maybe 5 to 20 pages of your favorite self-development book. Or listening to a podcast that you like first thing in the morning. Maybe you have an Alexa. You can ask Alexa to give you an inspiring quote for the day. Maybe you can do a little bit of yoga. And none of these have to take a huge chunk of time because most of us are pretty busy in the morning, and that's the last thing we need is just that extra thing on our to-do list. These are meant to, again, energize you and get you ready and get you motivated and get you excited for the day and inspired. Maybe you have an accountability partner, whether it's a friend, colleague, or family member. So maybe you have a quick conversation with them first thing in the morning before you start today. All of these will help you build the motivation and the confidence that you need to be successful. So if any of those that I mentioned resonate with you and you want to start implementing them, I definitely suggest taking it on and then letting me know how it goes. I love to hear your feedback about the episodes that I give. But also, maybe come up with your own, maybe Google what are some morning ritual ideas, or how can you, infuse creativity into your morning ritual, whatever it is for you. Figure out what is going to get you excited and inspired for the day. Okay, so that's morning rituals, and of course, there's also evening rituals. And again, for myself personally, my evening ritual is to meditate right before bed. It helps me quiet my mind and reflect and release everything from my day. Some people like to journal at the end of their day instead of doing it at the beginning. And if you do like to journal at the end of your day, I think it's great to sort of focus on what did you accomplish today, and maybe what did you initially plan but then failed to accomplish and why. And when you do this, don't do it from the perspective of beating up on yourself, but do it with the intention of figuring out, are there patterns that I consistently do that aren't for my best interest and my highest purpose? Or are these things, is this just something random, that came up today that sort of was a roadblock to what I wanted to accomplish? What did you learn and experience from today? What specifically did you do well? What mistakes did you maybe make? What did you learn from these mistakes? And what specific decisions did you make today? Was there anything that really stood out to you, and maybe what were the results of those decisions? So, again, it's important to write these things down. And eventually, over time, you will see what works for you and what doesn't. And what doesn't work, you can totally release and let go. It's no big deal. The point here is to figure out what is going to make you more productive and feel more fulfilled in your life. And so just begin with 3 small actions. Don't try to do everything at once, because you'll just be setting yourself up for overwhelm and failure. So just pick, even if you have a whole bunch of the ones that I mentioned and you're like, oh my God, all those sound great. Don't try all of them at once. Just start with 3 small ones. So is it the gratitude practice? Or maybe it was thinking about dancing in the morning, or having a nutritious breakfast, being more intentional with the food that you ingest first thing in the morning. Whatever it is, start simple and make it easy for yourself to succeed. And then, once you've nailed it, once you have those new habits firmly in place, which may take anywhere from 21 days to 90 days, change doesn't happen overnight. So be gentle with yourself, be patient with yourself. But once you've nailed it, then you can add new habits. And I would definitely encourage you to be open to change along the way. Your rituals should not be set in stone. You should be open to adjusting and adapting your plan along the way. We are dynamic beings, so why should we not be open to the dynamic part of change in the process? So once we get out of this mindset that a ritual is something rigid that has to stay the same forever and, it can never be changed, then we get to be fun and creative and evolve and really embrace the different aspects of our practices and our rituals. And don't be discouraged by slip-ups. Again, I've mentioned this before, but don't be such a hard judge on yourself. Be loving and compassionate and gentle. Although your rituals will give you power, the act of having a routine will become an addiction, and at times you may feel superhuman, which is awesome, but other times you may feel lost after missing a step or messing up or neglecting it. So don't beat up on yourself. Stay strong. Just walk back into it. In Kundalini Yoga, when you have a 40-day practice, if you miss a day, you start over with day 1 until you've done all 40 days in consecutive order. So I suggest committing to performing your first new ritual or your first 3 small rituals for at least 66 days. And ask a friend to help you with the accountability, and use a positive reinforcement technique to make the ritual stick. And I'll let you figure out what that is, because I think talking about positive reinforcement and what we use as our rewards is a subject for a whole nother episode. But then also release the outcome. We have been conditioned to expect change to happen quickly and effortlessly. However, true transformation takes time. So honor your everyday rituals and release your need for a quick outcome. Release your expectation of a specific outcome, and just do it because you know in your heart you'll feel better. It makes you feel good. It's good for you. And just see what unfolds from there. So I hope that you enjoyed this quick little episode about rituals and how to implement and create new rituals in your life for success and motivation and inspiration. If you have more questions, definitely reach out. Again, I'm going to put these questions and the sources of the questions on the resource page for this episode, which is drlaramay.com/lightbodyradio, and it'll be the ritual episode. So definitely, again, reach out. And if you have questions, comments, I love to hear them. and requests for more episode topics. I'm always open to that kind of feedback as well, and I love to provide you with the value that you're looking for. So I hope you have a fantastic day, and I look forward to hearing about your new rituals. Namaste. Check you on the other side.